Welcome to Celtic Corner. I'm David, and I work for the community of Aidan and Hilda, a dispersed Celtic Christian community. In a Celtic Corner, we will learn about Celtic Christian spirituality, about the lives of inspirational people from the Celtic Christian history, about their faith, and how this unique style of expression of the Christian faith is relevant to us today in our modern world. To begin, today, just an introduction to Celtic Christian spirituality. Celtic Christian spirituality is more than just information on what happened in the past and how people used to do Christianity. It's a way of life, an expression of the Christian faith which spans all generations and is relevant to us in today's church, not just those who have a Celtic heritage, but each one of us, in fact, who wish to live a spiritual life inspired by some wonderful people of the past. It can help us become deeper and more mature, faith-filled spiritual people. Long before conflict so tragically divided our modern Christian church, the Celtic church flourished. It existed within the first 800 to 900 years of the first millennium, through what used to be known as the Dark Ages, but is now known as the early Middle Ages, or the early medieval period. The Celtic churches and Celtic Christians were very orthodox in their faith, but they were diverse in their practice, believing that spirituality and their faith was an expression of the individual and not something that could be put together and people forced into a mould. They shared their faith with all people through their great lives, the way they lived, their dedication, and they maintained unity through friendship, through gatherings, and particularly through soul friendship, which we will learn about in particular another time. There was an equality in the Celtic Church between both men and women. There were joint monasteries, where those who were dedicated, who we would call monks, could be married and have families and children. All gifts were recognised as equal. They felt their spirituality linked them with creation, with nature around them. They saw the divine in the trees, in the birds, in the animals, in the rocks, in the weather, in the seasons, in the cycles and rhythms of life. They celebrated their connection with the divine through all of their senses. They inspired multitudes to live holy lives of prayer. They were bathed in the supernatural, and they kept learning alive through what was known as the Dark Ages. A light of spirituality shining. Celtic Christian spirituality is an inspiration to us today. It is more than just doctrine. It is more than just ideas. It is a way of life that can transform each one of us. It's a way of life that can draw us deeper into the sense of the divine. In Celtic Christian spirituality we find balance and rhythm. We find exuberant praise and joy and festivities and celebrations. And we find contemplative spirituality, sitting on rocks, on crevices, and drawing in a deep sense of the presence of God. Many of the Celtic places that we know are on the outskirts, they are on the edges. Skellig Michael, Iona, Lindisfarne, being just three, on the edges, where they could feel and sense the enormity of the power of nature, relating that to the enormity of the power of the spiritual world. Celtic Christian spirituality is something that each of us can be inspired by, no matter what our faith, no matter where we place ourselves in our journey, no matter where we would focus our own direction, in our own path, in our own walk. Celtic Christian spirituality is an inspiration for us all, and I hope that as we journey along this path, together, you and I, that we will learn more of what it means to be human, of what it means to live on this earth together, of what it means to connect with the spiritual world, of what it means to know that everything is spiritual, that there is no separation between sacred and secular, between spiritual and physical. There are many differences between Celtic Christianity and modern Christianity. In fact, all of our modern Christianity comes from the Roman Empire's expression of church. A great synod in Whitby in the year 664 brought an end to the wonder and grace of Celtic Christianity. Over the next few years, Celtic Christianity began to diminish, and the Roman idea of church, which was very uniform, very organised, very structured, and very male-dominated in its leadership, began to take over. In his book on Lindisfarne, Magnus Magnusson writes of the differences between the two styles of faith, of the Celtic monks and the Roman monks. He says this: Celtic monks lived in conspicuous poverty. Roman monks lived well. Celtic monks were otherworldly. Roman monks were worldly. Celtic bishops practiced humility. Roman bishops paraded pomp. Celtic bishops were shepherds of their flocks. Roman bishops were monarchs of their dioceses. Celtic clergy said, "Do as I do," and hoped to be followed. Roman clergy said, "Do as I say," and expected to be obeyed. Today, we can learn from Celtic Christian spirituality the grace and love that Christ himself shared and showed. Many aspects of the Christian faith which have been lost can be found in Celtic Christian spirituality. And so as our journey begins together, I leave you this time with a blessing from the ancient Celts, a deep peace of the running wave to you, deep peace of the flowing air to you, deep peace of the quiet earth to you, deep peace of the sleeping stones to you, deep peace of the stars to you, deep peace of the Prince of Peace to you.